Vanishing species, animals and plants on the brink. Every day, the world loses something invaluable. Many animal and plant species are on the verge of extinction. And this isn't just a statistic. It's a wake-up call for all of humanity. Hello, I'm your guide to the fascinating but sometimes alarming science of life on Earth. Today, we're talking about a growing problem, species extinction. You've probably heard about it, but what does it really mean when a species is on the brink? It's not just sad news about exotic animals or rare flowers. It's a warning sign for the entire planet, for each and every one of us. To understand the scope, let's look at the IUCN Red List. It's like a barometer for our planet's health, assessing threats to thousands of species. The Red List divides species into categories reflecting the level of danger they face. First, we have those at risk. Vulnerable species face serious threats and could become endangered soon if we don't act. Their numbers are declining and their habitats are shrinking. Next are endangered species. This is a more serious alarm. Their populations have declined so much that they're at high risk of disappearing in the wild. Imagine only a few thousand, or even just hundreds left. Finally, the most critical category, critically endangered. These species are in dire straits. So few remain that extinction in the wild could happen at any moment. Every single animal, every plant in this category is crucial. Why is this so important? Why should we care about a rare butterfly or an obscure shrub? Simple. Our planet is a complex, interconnected system where every species plays a unique role. It's like a perfectly tuned orchestra. If one note is missing, the melody changes. When a species vanishes, it creates a chain reaction. For example, a missing predator can lead to an overpopulation of its prey, which depletes vegetation, affecting the insects that feed on that vegetation, and so on. The food chain is disrupted, changing the soil, water quality, even the climate. Biodiversity isn't just a buzzword. It's the foundation of stable ecosystems. It allows them to adapt and provides us with essentials: clean air, water, food, medicine. Losing a species is a loss for the whole planet. It weakens our resilience and the Earth's ability to sustain life, including our own. Understanding this is the first step towards realizing our responsibility. Did you know that behind every vanishing species, there's often human action or inaction? Are you ready to find out what's pushing our planet towards biodiversity loss? We've covered what it means to be on the brink and why it matters. Now, let's delve into the causes. What's pushing thousands of species to the edge? Sadly, it's often one thing: human activity. It's not always intentional. Sometimes it's just the consequence of how we live. The biggest threat is habitat destruction. Imagine your home being bulldozed. That's what happens when we clear forests for farms, build on coastlines, drain wetlands, or expand cities. Every year, hectares of unique ecosystems vanish, from the Amazon rainforest to coral reefs, and their inhabitants disappear with them. They lose food, shelter, and breeding grounds. Climate change is another serious factor. Global warming, mainly from greenhouse gas emissions, is changing living conditions. Glaciers melt, sea levels rise, threatening coastal ecosystems. Temperatures and rainfall patterns shift, leading to droughts, floods, and wildfires. Many species can't adapt quickly enough. Corals bleach due to warmer waters, and polar bears lose their hunting grounds as Arctic ice melts. Poaching and illegal trade plague many species, especially large mammals and rare plants. Rhino horns, elephant tusks, tiger skins, exotic birds, and orchids. Demand, fueled by superstition or greed, leads to relentless slaughter. It's a direct hit to populations already weakened by other factors. Environmental pollution is another major problem. Plastic in the oceans, pesticides in fields, industrial waste in rivers and the atmosphere. It all poisons nature and its inhabitants. Microplastics enter food chains. Chemicals cause disease and infertility, and smog pollutes the air we breathe. Finally, the spread of invasive species. These are non-native species introduced accidentally or intentionally that reproduce uncontrollably. They outcompete native species for food and resources, or become new predators that native species aren't adapted to. For example, cats and rats introduced to islands have caused the extinction of many birds and reptiles that lacked natural defenses. These factors often combine, amplifying each other and creating a deadly cocktail for biodiversity. Recognizing these threats is the first step towards solutions. It'll change how you see the problem when we put a face to this global tragedy. Stories of animals and plants whose days are numbered, but whose fight continues. We know why species disappear. Now let's look at specific examples, those who've become faces of the tragedy and those whose existence is threatened. These stories are a vivid reminder of the scale, helping us see real lives, not just dry numbers. Let's start with the majestic Amur tiger. This apex predator, living in the Far East, is endangered due to poaching and habitat loss. By the mid-20th century, only about 50 remained. Today, thanks to conservation efforts, the population has grown, but the tiger remains vulnerable. Every individual, every untouched piece of taiga is a chance for the survival of Russia's wild symbol. Next, the giant panda. This bamboo-eating bear from China's mountains has become the emblem of the World Wildlife Fund. Its survival depends on bamboo forests, which are being logged and fragmented. The panda's slow reproduction also complicates things. But there's good news. Decades of targeted conservation efforts, including reserves and captive breeding, have improved the panda's status from endangered to vulnerable. This shows how teamwork pays off. We can't forget orangutans, the people of the forest, from Borneo and Sumatra. These intelligent apes spend almost their entire lives in rainforest trees. Their homes are vanishing at an alarming rate due to oil palm plantations. Palm oil is used in countless products, and the demand is causing massive deforestation, leaving orangutans homeless and often killing them. This is one of the most pressing problems, affecting many species dependent on these ecosystems. To show that the problem isn't just about animals, let's consider Rafflesia arnoldi. It's the world's largest flower, reaching a meter in diameter and weighing up to 10 kilograms. It's known for its unpleasant odor and parasitic nature, lacking stems, leaves, and roots, living off other plants. Rafflesia is only found in Southeast Asian rainforests. Habitat destruction threatens this unique species, demonstrating how fragile life is, even for the most unusual flora. These stories are just a glimpse of the vast mosaic of species struggling to survive. They show us that behind every number in the Red List, there's a unique life that deserves our attention and protection. Imagine a world where all bees suddenly disappeared. Not only honey, but a third of our food, from fruits to coffee, would be at risk. This scenario, though hypothetical, shows why even the smallest creatures play a vital role in maintaining ecological balance and our survival. We've talked about tigers, pandas, and orangutans, species whose disappearance resonates deeply. But what if I told you that the future of humanity depends on creatures we barely notice or even despise? I'm talking about our unsung heroes, insects, soil microorganisms, algae, and unassuming plants. Their role in sustaining life on Earth is immense. Let's return to the example of bees. Bees, butterflies, flies, beetles, and even bats are pollinators. They carry pollen from one flower to another, ensuring plant reproduction. Without them, we'd lose not only honey, but a significant portion of our food. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, coffee, cotton. About 75% of the world's leading crops rely on pollinators. Their disappearance isn't just the loss of a few species, it's a threat to global food security. But it's not just pollinators that matter. Look at the soil beneath your feet. It's teeming with invisible life. Soil microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, algae, and small invertebrates like earthworms are architects of fertility. They decompose organic matter, turning it into nutrients for plants. Earthworms aerate the soil, improving its structure and water retention. Without these unseen workers, the soil would quickly become barren, unable to support vegetation and the food chain. And what about microscopic algae, phytoplankton, in the oceans? They produce up to 50% of the oxygen we breathe. These tiny organisms, not just forests, are the lungs of our planet. They also form the base of marine food chains, supporting life from krill to whales. Their disappearance would deprive us of oxygen and collapse marine life. Every species, no matter how small or inconspicuous, occupies a niche in the complex web of life. It might be food for another species, a population regulator, a water purifier, an oxygen producer, or a participant in global carbon and nitrogen cycles. Losing even one link in this chain can cause a domino effect, affecting other species and ultimately humans. It's like pulling a brick from a wall. At first, nothing happens, but if you continue, the whole structure collapses. So, when we talk about conserving biodiversity, we're not just saving cute animals, we're preserving a complex, self-regulating system that ensures our survival and prosperity. Did you know that targeted conservation efforts have prevented the extinction of up to 48 bird and mammal species in recent decades? These aren't just numbers, they're stories of hope, proving that we can change things. After all the alarming news, it's natural to ask, is there any hope? Can we make a difference? The answer is a resounding yes. Conservation history has many examples of species brought back from the brink, thanks to scientists, ecologists, and activists. These successes prove that our efforts aren't futile. A key tool for biodiversity conservation is national parks and reserves. These protected areas allow nature to exist relatively untouched, providing refuge for many species. This is where Amur tigers find their hunting grounds, and rare plants can grow undisturbed. Creating these zones is the foundation of all other conservation work. Captive breeding programs in zoos and botanical gardens play a crucial role. Their goal is to create a backup population of endangered species, maintain genetic diversity, and ideally, prepare animals or plants for release into the wild. A great example is the California condor. By the 1980s, only 22 individuals remained in the wild. All were captured for breeding. Today, there are over 500, and more than half live free. This incredible achievement shows how much can be done. Another inspiring example is the European bison. In the early 20th century, this majestic forest bull was extinct in the wild. All survivors were in zoos. Thanks to an international breeding and reintroduction program, bison have returned to the forests of Poland, Belarus, Russia, and other countries. Today, their numbers are growing, and they've become an important part of European ecosystems again. We can't underestimate international organizations like the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, the UN Environment Program, UNEP, and the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. They coordinate efforts, fund projects, conduct research, and lobby for changes in legislation. Their work provides a global perspective and unites resources to solve the problem. Modern technologies contribute as well. DNA analysis helps us understand genetic diversity and avoid inbreeding. Satellite tracking monitors animal migrations and poaching. Drones are used to monitor remote areas and combat illegal logging. These stories aren't just happy accidents. They're the result of decades of hard work, international agreements, significant investments, and scientific research. They show that humanity can not only destroy, but also restore. The key is to recognize the problem and act together. Have you ever thought that saving endangered species could start not in remote reserves, but right at home? Can your everyday choices change the fate of the planet? Yes, and you'll be inspired to learn how much you can do. We've explored the causes of species extinction and seen successful conservation projects. But what does it mean for you, for each of us? Can our daily actions affect the fate of the planet? Absolutely. Change starts small, with conscious choices made every day. And I'll show you how to be part of this vital movement. First, conscious consumption. Remember the orangutans losing their homes to palm oil? Read labels. Choose products without palm oil or with sustainable certification. The same goes for seafood. Look for labels certifying sustainable fishing. When buying furniture or other wood products, look for FSC, Forest Stewardship Council certification. Every choice is a vote for nature. Reducing waste and using resources wisely is another powerful tool. The plastic polluting oceans starts with our consumer choices. Refuse single-use bags. Use reusable bottles and cups, and sort your waste. The less waste we produce, the less strain on ecosystems. Save water and electricity. Less energy consumption means fewer greenhouse gas emissions, slowing climate change. Supporting conservation organizations is a direct investment in the future. Even a small donation can fund research, anti-poaching patrols, or breeding programs. If you have time, volunteer at a local reserve or park. Tell friends and family about the problem. Share information on social media. Education and awareness are powerful. Don't forget local actions. Support local farmers who use sustainable practices. Create a green corner on your property or balcony, planting native species that attract pollinators. Participate in cleanups in parks and rivers. Even setting up a bird feeder or insect house can help. Your voice matters. Support legislation protecting the environment. Vote for politicians committed to environmental issues. Our collective power can influence big decisions. Every vanishing species is more than just a loss in the wild. It's a loss for our shared home, our planet. But we can change this. By starting small today, we can ensure a healthier, more biodiverse future for ourselves and all living things. Your role is crucial. We hope this has made you think about the fragility of our world and the power within us all. If you want to continue exploring important topics with us and support spreading knowledge about conservation, please like this video and subscribe to Epic Echoes. Your support is our voice for life on Earth.